I didn't realize how quiet Naples could become at night. Most people imagine it always loud, always bright, always awake. But there's a moment, just after the last voices fade along the promenade, when the city exhales and the entire Lungomare softens into something gentle, almost fragile. The air tonight is warm, not heavy, warm like a memory that hasn't fully settled, carrying the scent of salt stone warmed by the day and a faint sweetness drifting from somewhere far behind me, maybe from a bakery that closed hours ago and left its last traces wandering through the streets. I walk along the water with slow steps. The lamps above cast a golden path on the pavement, their reflections stretching across the sea, in long, trembling lines, as if someone had drawn them with a soft brush, and let them melt slightly at the edges. The waves don't crash here. They fold onto themselves, roll gently toward the rocks, and retreat with a whisper so soft, it feels like they're trying not to disturb the city's rest. Somewhere behind me, a distant scooter hums along the far road for a few seconds and then disappears. Naples, for a brief moment, feels like it's holding its breath. I stop beside the low stone wall that separates the walkway from the sea. The stone is still warm, and I rest my hands on it, feeling the last heat of the day seeping slowly into my skin. The water below is darker than I expected. Not black, just a deep, endless blue that swallows the reflections whole and gives them back in softer versions. Far ahead, the Castel dell'Ovo sits like a shadow on the edge of the bay, its walls washed in the dim glow of a few remaining lights. It feels older than the night, like something that remembers every tide and all the quiet moments. The city has forgotten. A breeze rises, carrying the smell of the sea with it. Salt, sand, a hint of algae. It brushes my face gently, as if trying to tell me something. Without using words, I keep walking. The promenade widens, and the world around me seems to open slightly. The lamps are spaced farther apart now, so their light pools in soft circles, instead of forming a single bright path. The air tastes different here. Colder, cleaner, mixed with the faint metallic scent of the boats moored not far away. I hear something faint in the distance, a melody, not played, just carried. At first, it could be anything: the wind passing through a loose railing, the ropes of a boat shifting with the tide, even the distant echo of music from a bar that hasn't quite closed. But the longer I listen, the more I recognize it. It's the kind of tune that isn't played to be heard, but to exist. A mandolin, maybe, or a guitar played softly enough that the sea absorbs half the notes before they reach me. I follow the sound without meaning to. My feet slow, my breathing quiets, and I let the melody guide me, as if it were a gentle thread, pulling me towards somewhere I've forgotten. The walkway curves, and I step into a quieter stretch of the Lungomare. To my left, The buildings rise tall and pale, their windows glowing faintly, like memories floating in the dark. To my right, the water expands into a wide open space, the horizon barely visible. Under the film of night, the melody drifts again, closer now. It isn't bright, it isn't cheerful. It has something warm in it. Warm like the color of the lamps. Warm like the sea air on my face. Warm like a memory that never learned how to fade. I find a spot where the wall dips lower and sit on the edge, legs dangling above the rocks. The sea below folds over itself in gentle layers, each wave a soft exhale. It feels like the perfect place to listen. The melody comes again. I close my eyes. I don't know who is playing. I don't know where they are. They could be on a balcony above me, in a small courtyard hidden behind the buildings, or maybe on one of the boats near the castle, letting the music drift over the water. Like a message carried by the tide. The notes aren't perfect. Some fade before they finish, others bend slightly, as if leaning into the night. But there's honesty in them, a kind of quiet longing. That feels familiar. I open my eyes again. The bay stretches before me, in a soft arc of light and shadow. The city behind it glows faintly, distanced safe, half asleep. The melody repeats slower now, as if the musician is growing tired. Or the night is softening their hands. A deep sense of calm settles over me. It doesn't arrive all at once. It spreads slowly, like warmth, moving through cold fingers. I breathe in. The sea air enters my chest, cool and salty, and something in me unknots itself, a little at a time. There's something special about Naples at night. Something people miss. If they only know the noise, the crowds, the rush of the day. Here in this soft quiet, the city feels almost tender. The melody drifts again, this time blending with the rhythm of the water. For a moment, I imagine the notes falling onto the waves, resting on the surface and dissolving as the sea carries them away. I slide down from the wall and walk closer to the rocks. The tide is low, revealing patches of stone, rounded smooth by years of waves. I step carefully onto one of the largest stones and stand where the sea reaches me, only in sprays of mist. From here, the lights of the Lungomare stretch far behind me, forming a golden ribbon along the curve of the bay. I feel small, but in a comforting way, like being held within a world that is vast, but gentle. The music pauses. For a moment, there is only the sound of water moving against stone. Then a single note rings out, clearer than any before, as if someone plucked the string with more intention. The note fades slowly, melting into the air, into the sea, into the night. I close my eyes again, letting everything land softly inside me. My breathing matches the tide, in, out, slow, unhurried. I open them only when a breeze touches my cheek again, a warm one this time, carrying the scent of something sweet and distant, like pastries cooling in a kitchen far away, long after everyone has gone to sleep. The melody resumes, but softer now. It drifts like a memory instead of a song. And in that moment, Naples feels like a place that sings even in its quiet. I step back onto the walkway and begin moving again slowly, as if each step is part of a rhythm, older than the street beneath me. The city behind me is still glowing, still breathing. The sea beside me is still whispering. And somewhere out there, someone is still playing, a tune that rises and falls, like the tide itself. I walk until the melody grows faint, and the sea becomes the only sound around me. Then I stop, lean against the railing, and let the night settle into me. One last time. The air is warm. The water is calm. The lights shimmer like distant memories. And the melody, even when it fades completely, lingers inside my chest like something quietly waiting to be remembered. I breathe in slowly. The city exhales with me, and for a moment, there is no difference between the sound of the sea and the sound of my own heart, settling into calm.